name is Sione Foueti. I'm 19 years old. I'm from Unihanga in NZ. I came here on a Ipswich scholarship to play rugby league. My current position is centre, but I play lock and second row. Played Ipswich Diggers, under 19s. I've asked rugbyleaguecoach.com.au to help me with my skills, agility and fitness, and these are the areas I need to improve to become a better player. My goals are to become an in-around player. That's like main goal, and yeah, to be a workhorse in the field, solid.
Hello, my name is Lisite Hafoka, and I'm 19 years old. I'm from New Zealand, South Auckland, from Otago. I've come over last year from a scholarship, played at Ipswich Jets. Currently played Western Bulldogs. My current position right now is prop, and my main goal is playing around, if not Q Cup. And I asked rugbyleaguecoach.com.au for help, to help me with my fitness and my skills, so I can become a better player.
The kind of request that you've just seen from the two boys is something I get regularly as a coach all the time, and that's one of the inspirations behind rugbyleaguecoach.com.au. The two boys are both 19, and they both came to Australia from New Zealand for a chance to go further in the game. There's enough cases of people who, despite not being scouted or not being picked up somewhere along the journey, there's enough cases of people that have been picked up a lot later on the journey. My job is to try and help them through this website, and this is a product that you can take up as well. Obviously, if you don't live geographically close to where rugbyleaguecoach.com.au is based in Australia, you'll be able to send us videos via the link on the website. We can talk together on Skype or on email or on telephone. What we're going to do now with this video is take you through the process if you contacted us as a player. Now, I'm going to ask these players, we're going to sit down with them. Obviously, if you aren't geographically local, it would be a Skype conversation, an email or a telephone. We're going to sit down with the players and talk to them about their expectations, whether they're realistic and what we might need to do moving forward. So I've had a chat with the boys. First thing I'm going to do now is going to take them through the analysis software that I use. Likewise, if you send me video, be it some of a game or all of a game, I can put that through my analysis software, and I will get it to you one way or the other by email, Dropbox, Skype, anything like that. So we'll go to the video review part now, and I'll take you through some of the process. Obviously, you're in the number 10. See when you come in there, you see how soft you were when you came into the tackle? See how sort of like sloppy you were? I'd like to see you go in really aggressive. So if you just imagine you going in here to do some real damage. Obviously you can't go to the legs because that's illegal, but you see how you're just quite passive there?
Yeah.
Go in, get under his ribs and really make it known that you were there. Because what's happened is you've tackled him in such a way with your feet far away that you've ended up being a passenger on the floor, so that means it's going to take you longer to get up off the floor. Okay, so you've basically, with that passive tackle, you've made your team one defender short. I'll go through all your tackles first and then I'll go through your offence. Now, straight away something I'm seeing there is we are going to have to do some footwork with you, because laterally, side to side, you're struggling a little bit, so you've moved yourself all the way over there. Because you're a big body, all of a sudden you've got to get stepped back in. There's a few reasons why that's happened. If you didn't slide quite as fast and stayed inside the ball, you wouldn't have to come back. So you'd be saving some energy. But if you just look as you come back now, you've planted your feet and then you've ended up trying to tackle him on the way back. So we'll do some work on your feet and we'll do some work on your defensive reads too. When you're in there, I'd like to see you bend your legs more. And you see how you've stood over the tackle there? So I'm going to be doing loads of work with you about getting up and down off the ground again, which I know you'll absolutely love.
Cool.
Let's have a look at this one. There you are coming in passive. Your left shoulder tackle looks a lot better than it used to. What my concern would be there was how quickly he got up off the floor. So I'd like to see you in, tackle, squeeze, land on him, do some ruck control on the way up. But you've literally just jumped off him like he was on fire. Okay? So it's about getting in some habits. I don't know what your coach was coaching you to do, but these are good things to get into your game anyway.
Yeah.
Again, you've ended up just being passively involved in a tackle, and now you're backtracking to get across, and you've left some space at a defender there. I'll just go back to that. So one thing I've noticed about your game, around about the 7th minute, you start to get a little bit tired, so some of your decision making becomes a little bit off. And see the space you've left at a defender there?
Yeah.
Again, now you're just getting a little bit lazy on your left shoulder, because that's a tiredness thing. Because in the earlier minutes, your left shoulder was good. Okay? So we've definitely got fitness work to do. Get ready. Again, just squeeze on the floor. I actually thought that was a really good effort overall. This is only the first half. You can see you're thinking about doing a bit of squeezing there, and that's actually good. You've just got to be careful of that second effort, because the ref might penalise you for that second effort. Good. Good shoulder contact. And again, look how you're one of the last men up though, that's the problem. So what I call that is almost a dead marine. If you're laying on the floor, you'd be a dead marine, but you were almost a dead marine there. And you were crawling next to him as he was playing the ball. You need to be up before he is to play the ball. Okay? See how he's starting to plant a little bit there, and look at the time in the game, 15-19, and you're just starting to get tired. I think a good prop can last about 20 minutes. Okay, so that's going to be our aim, to make sure you've got a good solid 20 minutes. Oh, I suppose in the NRL now there's 80-minute props as well, but we'll go one step at a time. We'll get a good solid 20 out of you first. So you're planting your feet, you stood there waiting. Behind the line, and then you're just reaching out doing the shopping trolley, you know, you're reaching out like you're pushing a shopping trolley. So these, can you tell you look tired on these now?
Yep.
There's a massive difference, isn't it, from the first 10? See how you're behind the line there?
Yeah.
And then you should have tackled in with your left shoulder. You didn't, you went right shoulder and put your arm over, and you didn't fall down with a tackle. I'm talking to you as if you were still that player we had at school, so with the expectations you've got in yourself. No major dramas there. One good thing, even though you were clearly tired, you didn't look tired to the opposition, so it wasn't as if you were behind the line a lot. Okay, where the tiredness got you was in the way you made decisions, so the way you made defensive decisions, and that was on the defensive side of the ball. Let's have a look at the attacking side now. One thing you'll notice as you go through the attacking clips is that some are tagged as go forward and some are tagged as no go forward, and one thing I noticed is your go forward was quite inconsistent. So straight away, get wide with the markers. Those two markers are men that are allowed to be offside, so get wider. I'd like to see you take the ball where the white line is, and nice and straight, because then those markers won't get hold of you. They have influenced your run, you're going out because they're coming towards you. But you've landed on your front well, just snap your knees and play the ball quick. We'll do some work on your angle to run and to play the ball, okay? I've tagged these because you did some real good off the ball work, and this will be contributing to some of your tiredness as well. So in a minute you'll move off the ball as if you're going to get the ball, but you didn't do it very well, did you? You didn't make it look like you were going to get the ball. So all you are there is an obstructor, so be very careful of that. Look like you're going to get the ball.
Right.
You did a little bit of work there, but again, it didn't amount to much. So you're actually burning energy by not doing much in that realm. You're still moving through. So be aware to pull people off the ball. I'm going to have a closer look at your carry, because it does look quite loose, you're carrying with the ball forward, so I'll have a closer look at that. There's good timing off the ball. See how you're presenting the ball to them? So just be really careful, 2 hands. And also, did you do a Cumberland throw when you're there? There's nothing you can do about that, but what you can do, as soon as you hit the deck, play it as quickly as you can, and they've managed to turtle you onto your back. Okay? So we're going to speed that journey up from the back to the front and back to the front with our training. Right. Looking at that run, you weren't hitting it at full pace. So I think you need to take a couple of metres back, and you need to be hitting the ball as hard as you can and go at full steam. Because I honestly reckon, mate, if you go full steam there, they're going to really struggle to deal with you that close to the line. Your body position is also really upright as well, so you're easier to control. So try and get a little bit lower. We'll work on that in training, especially with Sione when I can get the both of you together. And maybe Kobe will join us as well, and some of your friends. I think that's a communication thing there. So talk to the man inside you. See how you're not really timing very well onto the ball, you're just jogging onto the ball. So it's pot luck whether you get any go forward or not. Look how upright you are. Right? So I'll have a work on that with you as well. A year ago you were running a lot harder than this, and that'll be a fitness thing too. Right? See how flat you are? But that was actually one of your better decoy runs, because it actually looked like you might have been getting the ball, because it looks like your other runs.
Yeah.
See how flat you are there?
Yeah.
You're not going to do any damage doing that, so you're putting yourself under a lot of pressure. Imagine the difference we can make to this run with good timing, weights work, and fitter, so you're hitting it harder. Imagine you're doing some work in the gym there, in that situation, especially on your core, your upper body. Good offload though, I liked it. From there, I want you running so hard onto the ball, and you actually picked it up after a while and you started offloading, and that's something that's something good in your game. One thing I've noticed is taking 2, 3, 4 men to tackle you each time. So if you can get an offload away, do it sensibly, make sure you can see whoever you're offloading to. That was excellent. See how you found the floor quickly? Just got to play that ball quickly. We've got to speed that journey up when we get to training. You see how you run slow down a bit, the more tired you get, and your body position. What did you do wrong there, do you think?
I landed on my back.
And you ran an overs line? Yeah, so you're opening up your body. So we've got loads of work to do here, okay?
Sure.
Cool. First, bud, tackling or?
Tackling.
Tackle, okay. First of all, I need to say I don't think you're a centre. Do you think you're a centre?
Yeah.
I think you can do a job in the centre, but I think you're definitely a back rower or a prop. Especially if we get you big on the weights again, you've got that body type that you will put weight on quite easily, good weight, so, and you're brave, so I'd think about the middle a bit more, but you definitely did a good job over here too. Okay, good, alright. When you're sliding in defence like that, always stay inside the ball. See how you slip past the ball there?
Yeah.
So what you've done is you've basically given him an avenue to get back inside to your defence. So as you're sliding, just stay inside shoulder. Okay? So you start coming out the line now?
Yeah.
Now, one thing I need to say is that your coach might not have minded you coming out the line. You might be coached to come out the line, but I want you to ask yourself, did you come out at the right time? Did it make a difference? Did it stop them? And all I see is you came out the line and it created an opportunity to get outside you.
Yeah.
So I think you just hold the line there. I think that's another reason why you need to be in the middle too, because I think you want to smack people, mate.
Yeah.
Right? I see only the animal. Okay. There's a little problem there, and again, this is good with Lisite as well, that we can work on your footwork, because you both plant your feet.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a fitness thing too. and you see how you just plant there?
Yeah.
So that means that's where you're doing the tackle, and number 2 sees that, steps away from you. So the wider you are, the more this gets exposed on the field. Okay? And then you've ended up reaching them with your arms. So keep your feet light for as long as possible, don't plant your feet.
Yeah.
But we'll work on that. Now you're looking a little bit tired,
Yeah.
and you got your decision making a little bit wonky there in terms of spacing, and you didn't put your big effort into the tackle. So if we look at the game tape, this is 28 minutes in. So your fitness is affecting your game a little bit, so we'll definitely have to get you fitter.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, there's another thing too, you're tackling on your left shoulder, you actually just go in with your chest and just sort of putting your arms around.
Yeah.
So we'll work on your left shoulder tackle, driving with your shoulder, because you're basically just putting your arms around them and spinning around them. Okay, let's have a look at you with the ball. It's funny how both of you need to look fitter,
Yeah.
because it's affecting your game. I think that was a support thing. Just get a little bit closer when you're supporting.
Yeah.
Get yourself wider with the ruck, but this is why I think you're a forward and not a centre. That's the kind of run a forward would make. I do think that spin caused you a bit of a problem, so find the floor, play it quick, we'll work on that. Good. You know what else we need to work on? To make yourself as complete a footballer as you can be.
Yeah.
You catch, and you caught it on your stomach. If you just had it there, you'd be able to take the ball to number 2, pass it easily. You actually caught it hard, pulled it out, so it's a bit slow with your hands.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a try, but I think one of the main reasons is Zion's really fast,
Yeah.
rather than your pass. I think you could have done that better. That's good. You got away from the markers. You're just having a bit of trouble in the collision I'm noticing here too. So that's a strength thing, I think, as well, and an angle thing.
Yeah.
You're quite a bit of an overs line there. So we'll work on that. You've definitely got the instinct you want to push people off and fight people. So as long as we get you back in the gym and get you strong, this will be a real asset to your game again, because that was a real good run.
Yeah.
You ran with purpose. You wanted to get over the top of them then. See what I mean about your passing, how
Yeah.
slow it can be, so we'll work on that again. That said though, even though it's a bit slow, it's still getting to where it needs to get to, so I need to give you praise for that. That's another reason why you're back rower. Did you see that hole that you hit? You're a similar issue to Lisite, that you're just not hitting the ball as hard as you can. And that was a silly offload, even to Kagan, who's very short.
Yeah.
It's so low. Oh. You did a skip like Sonny Bill Williams. Huh? Was that a forward pass from you?
Yeah.
Again, passing, you're probably not doing as much passing as you used to. That's an excellent run. But again, it's just that thing close to the ruck, close to the play of the ball, and you finding the floor. Okay?
Yeah.
Plenty to work on?
Yeah.
Cool. There's no two ways about it. Those two boys have got what it takes to go a lot further in the game. Everyone wants to get to the NRL if they're in Australia. In England, they all want to get to Super League. In France, they want to get to Super League, I think, with the Catalans and all the other countries, their relevant competition. I think we've got to set some realistic goals. It's going to be really hard for them to get into the NRL now. It's going to be hard. That doesn't mean they can't, and it doesn't mean they can't get to the Queensland Cup, and it doesn't mean they can't at least become reserve graders at Queensland Cup, or very well paid A graders, because there's a lot of A graders in Australia get some real money. There's no doubt from looking at their tape, I can tell why we scholarshiped them a few years ago at Ipswich State High School. They're damn good players. But this is the key thing that separates the good players from the great, or the average from the good, is the amount of effort they're putting in away from training. This is a classic example with these two boys, of two boys, or men now, who are going to training with their club and feeling that they're ticking the training box. And by their own admission from looking at the tape, they're getting tired quite early into games. So I think with some good training, a minimum 4 weeks, because obviously it's 4 weeks to rejuvenate your season, is one of our early themes on rugbyleaguecoach.com.au. 4 weeks will make a huge difference. I'd be interested to see where we go with this, whether we end up with something, with the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. The key thing is it's down to them, and likewise it's down to you as a player. If you want the same service for you as a player, if you live geographically close to where we are in Queensland, rugbyleaguecoach.com.au, get in touch, I might be able to come and see you. We do travel internationally and we travel interstate, so we never know, that might happen wherever you are in the world. But we have got Skype, we have got email, we have got Dropbox, and we've got other facilities to make sure that you can get your videos to us and that we can talk. Great to be here again with my old sparring partner John Dora, in-house strength and conditioning coach for rugbyleaguecoach.com.au. Johnny,
hey,
I'm coming to you with a favour.
Yep.
A couple of days ago I went to see our old players Lisite and Sione.
Yep.
They're looking for 4 weeks to rejuvenate their season. I assessed their game. They played for the Diggers rep side, the Ipswich Diggers rep side last weekend, put it through the analysis software, studied their game. In a nutshell and very quickly, I think their fitness has dropped significantly. Their life has changed, they're not at school anymore, they're doing manual labour jobs, their diet has changed. They're not as fit as they used to be. But they've not necessarily recognised that, and they're going to training on a Tuesday and Thursday night at West End and feeling that those sessions are tough, whereas a year ago they wouldn't have found those sessions tough. This same thing is going to be multiplied all around the world, and this is the service that rugbyleaguecoach.com.au is looking to offer for players all around the world who want some extra help. They've come to me for the extra help. They've got 2 nights training at West End. I've told them to stick to that. I also told them that I'd come up with something that included some skills. I'll look after that. But I need your advice. I need your advice on how to get them a little bit fitter over 4 weeks. But also, we need to get them back in the gym because they're not doing any gym work. Let's start with the fitness. Let's start with the cardio, if you like. What pointers would you like to give?
Alright, so this time of the year, especially being mid-season, if you're looking for some extra fitness, it's something that you want to keep as short and sharp. The long distance, 1.2k runs are not something you're looking for at this time of year. All that does there is burns players out. So when I'm doing conditioning programs for players at this time of the year, what I'm trying to look for is short work that I increase the volume on and decrease the rest periods to achieve the cardio goals that we're looking for. So when I'm looking to do the cardio stuff with my players, the work to rest ratio that I like to use is 3-to-1.
Okay.
So we can achieve that in a 20-metre sprint, repeat 20-metre sprints by having, say, 5 seconds rest after each rep, rather than having to do that long distance running. Something else I also like to do is that rugby league's a sport, as you know, Lee, that it's not just running. We're not training track athletes. So I like to also incorporate periods where they're having to get up and down off the ground, because that there then allows us to use our upper body as well.
Talking to the City on the video analysis software the other day, I was talking to him about the getting up and down off the ground. So I actually said that I was going to incorporate that into my skills work with him. So maybe that's a conversation. I think this is something coaches and conditioners need to do all the time. Have a conversation about where the coach is coming from, where the conditioner's coming from. So we'll bang heads together and we'll get that, incorporate that into a program.
100%. That's something that happens in clubs as well. Coaches, the strength and conditioning coaches discuss things. And I suppose also too, if they, players who have the luxury of maybe having a training partner with them, I would also look to maybe add a wrestle component with the running. Because again, we're trying to get as specific as possible to rugby league, because we aren't training track athletes or triathletes. We're training rugby league players. So,
who did you learn that off, by the way?
Oh man, don't try and do yourself.
So I'll wrap up the cardio stuff in a second. Let's say they're playing Saturday, Sunday. It's the middle of the season. They're training Tuesday, Thursday. When would you like them to do that cardio work?
So I suppose if they're playing Saturday, there's no reason why Monday they couldn't be doing the training session, especially with their normal training being that Tuesday or Thursday. If they're playing on Sunday for those weeks, I suppose the next day there's no major issue. with doing the conditioning stuff, but it will impact. So the players will feel sore and that. So I probably recommend that Monday not to be the session. Look for Wednesday that week, and and I suppose usually when there's a Sunday game, the next week it should be a Saturday.
Don't forget as well, they can always go to training half an hour earlier or half an hour later and do that as well.
100%.
Okay, moving on to the resistance. Basically, the two boys, as you know, a year ago at Ipswich State High School, they were regular weight trainers. They've now left school, gone into the world of work, and their habits have changed, and sometimes they go to a gym. And you know and I know, when people aren't being guided by coaches, they go into a gym and do something that might be a little bit better for the beach or for the girls rather than for football. So again, can you give me the logistics and can you give me the feasibility of giving them a gym program now, which will be a shock to the body? How often you want them to do it, how long do you want them to do it for, and how safe will it be?
Okay, so usually this time of the year when we're doing gym programs for rugby league teams, we're trying to reduce the volume to reduce that risk of injury. What we're also looking for is we're looking at strength and power-based training. There's plenty of research out there, and I've discussed before that in lower body 1RM strength correlates directly to tackling ability. So that'd be the kind of stuff. But with these boys having not been training, I wouldn't feel comfortable recommending them to do pure strength-based, low reps, heavy weight stuff. So I'd like to start them in the hypertrophy zone, I suppose you'd like to call it, but it's the rep range between like an 8 to 12 reps, at least for the first 4 weeks, to get them back into the motion of doing gym, using those muscles in those movements again. In terms of programming, I'm a big believer, and like I said with the research article before, being leg dominant. I like a lot of squatting, a lot of deadlifting exercises. Those two also are quite complex movements. They use a lot of body parts throughout the body. So I find that they're my two main ones. But again, we look to try and upper body push, upper body pulling movements. We try and balance them so there's no instability in the upper body affecting our posture, which then increases injury risks as well.
No worries. Same question. Are you happy for me to put those programs online? Punters all around the world can buy them.
Yeah, 100%. So on those programs, I'll create again a 4-week gym program, which correlates with the cardio stuff we spoke about earlier too. So this program will be 2 gym sessions a week is what I'll be looking for.
Okay, and I think with the two boys, Sione and Lisite, that mirrors what hopefully people around the world who log onto the website we're doing. We'll see how it goes after 4 weeks, and if they want to take it further, we'll go further, because it's a real interactive website. So we'll be back in touch. We'll get some programs. Before we go, Dory, what are you going to do about your own physique?